cable, all with premium Wi-Fi and expert installation included. Fast, easy, reliable. Frontier.
Now at noon, President Biden is firing back against a scathing special counsel report that questioned his age and memory. Thanks for joining us for the Ktla 5 News at Noon. I'm Glenn Walker.
And I'm Lou Parker. That report spared the president from criminal charges over his handling of classified documents.
But it has now placed him on the political defense. Ktla 5's Corrine Winter joining us live now with the developing details. Corrine?
Glenn and Lou, the president clashed with the press hours after the release of this report that concluded he was a well-meaning elderly man with a poor memory. The vice president and other White House officials also blasted the findings.
But Mr. President, let me answer your question.
Angry, defiant, and ready to do damage control. President Biden blasting members of the White House press corps last night as reporters peppered him with questions about details in a special counsel's report that questioned his memory and mental fitness.
Many American people have been watching, and they have expressed concerns about your age.
That is your judgment. That is your judgment. That is not the judgment of the press.
The report revealed the president willfully obtained and shared information that was highly classified when he was a private citizen after leaving office as vice president. This included documents pertaining to the military and foreign policy in Afghanistan. Despite the findings, special counsel Robert Hur decided the president should not face criminal charges. This report, 345 pages in length, included documents of Mr. Biden's handwritten notes stored in his garage and office. Hur pointed out the president has what he called poor memory and that he should not be prosecuted in this case since it would be hard to convince a jury that Biden knew his actions were wrong. The special counsel referred to an interview Mr. Biden did with federal authorities where Biden could not remember the year his son Beau passed away from cancer.
The way that the president's demeanor in that report was characterized could not be more wrong on the facts and clearly politically motivated.
The White House also speaking out today.
When the classified documents were found, it was self-reported. The president directed his team to ensure that any classified documents were returned immediately. Why did he do that? Because the president takes classified information seriously. He always has. He did not intentionally take classified documents.
According to some polls, the president's age is the main concern from Democratic voters who embrace his policies. Lou and Glenn?
Corrine, thank you so much. This hour, the Los Angeles City Council will consider action regarding that graffiti-covered skyscraper complex in downtown LA. During today's meeting, the council is expected to vote on a motion that orders the developers of Oceanside Plaza to clean up and secure the unfinished property by February 17th. Now, if the motion passes and the developers fail to comply, the city could then step in and clean up the property and charge the property owner for those costs. A lien could also be put on the property and it will be foreclosed on if there is no payment.
LA now has dozens of new police officers. A graduation ceremony was held at the police academy today. It was the last one to be overseen by Chief Michael Moore before he retires. A total of 36 officers graduated, but 3 will be going to the LA World Airport Police and 3 to the Beverly Hills Police Department. And addressing the graduates, the outgoing chief recalled how he started out.
When I graduated, the class of 1081, it was in this room, and I crossed this stage. So it is it's a blessing for me to have this opportunity. This has been an incredible journey. It's been one filled with triumph and unforgettable memories.
The chief also took a moment to acknowledge newly appointed interim chief Dominic Choi. Moore says that he's confident the city will be in good hands. He will be retiring at the end of the month.
California lawmakers are looking to ban all plastic shopping bags in the state.
Currently, shoppers have the option of buying plastic bags, but lawmakers say that not enough of them are being recycled. KTLA 5's Orange County Bureau Chief Chip Yost live in La Palma with more on the proposed ban. Chip.
Yeah, hey there, Glenn and Lou. You know, a number of years ago, California instituted a plastic bag ban.